Okay, welcome to Watch Symposium. All right, I just talked about winders, and this sort of ties in with my watch routine, okay? So basically, these days, I have three watches that I rotate between, okay? The Rolexes, the Explorer 2, the No Date Sub, and the GMT, all right? Right now, it seems like for the past couple times, I've just been wearing the Explorer 2 a lot. In fact, since that NATO video, after the NATO video, I changed the NATO once, and just like I said, after 48 hours, it just felt like it was time to get that original bracelet on it, and so I put it on. And part of the reason I put it on is I was putting on a suit, and NATOs look terrible with a suit, if you ask me. I guess if it's a black NATO, you can get away with it, and James Bond got away with it. But I was going to work. I needed to put on a suit, and right before I left, I slapped this on, and it's been on. So I really haven't worn a watch since that NATO video, other than this Explorer 2. And speaking of the NATO video, I'm kind of surprised how many people are really not keen on NATOs. A lot of people brought up the fact that it depends on sort of the quality of the watch. They brought up Vostok, and Vostok is a great example of a watch that really works best with a NATO. I wouldn't want to keep that original strap on. It's a piece of crap. So something like a Vostok, NATOs work great. But a lot of people sort of, agreed that NATOs, a lot of people said that NATOs demean the watch, and that NATOs are really not good enough for Rolex. And yeah, I was kind of surprised. I thought there'd be more NATO advocates, but there were some. And yeah, I think NATOs they're a good change, and so it was interesting to see those comments. Now, let's talk about the issue at hand, which is my watch rotation. All right, all I wear these days are the three Rolexes. Okay, I don't wear my Vostoks anymore, and I'll make another video about that. Why have I retired the Vostoks? Another video. Okay, but how do I rotate my Rolexes? Well, basically one is in a dry box at any given time, and then the other two are running, and I switch between the two running watches. So I will, I might wear the Explorer 2 for 24 hours, and whatever watch is wound and ready will be sitting waiting for me to put it on. Let's say it's a No Date Sub. So next 24 hours I'll put on the No Date Sub. And by doing that, I set both of them, and as long as I wear one within 40 hours, then they stay wound. And it's kind of surprising how long they stay wound. It's not like I have to look at the watch and say, okay, I got to wear this one now for an hour. No, it's really natural. It's just I'll wear one for 24 hours, maybe 12 hours. Maybe I'll sleep with one, and I'll wake up and I'll feel like switching. If I'm going to work, I'll probably choose one with a date. So basically, I rotate between two throughout a 2-week period, okay, while the other sits in a dry box, okay? And for about two weeks. Now, when I talked about the watch winding video, the time frame that I was quoted was about a month. You want to make sure your watch is not sitting idle for more than a month. But just to be on the safe side, I keep it to about 2 weeks, okay? So I will store a watch for about 2 weeks and wear one of two, and then after 2 weeks, I start kind of wanting to wear the watch again, and so I'll pull it out, I'll set it, and then I'll put another in storage. Now, I guess I could rotate between three, but I kind of like having one away, sort of not out, sort of, I don't want to say hidden, but not out in the open like one always tends to be. It's interesting, but because I find that the Explorer 2 is always out and ready to go. It's always out. And the one that is being stored is either the GMT or the No Date Sub. And maybe that's because you know, the black face, the black dial and the white dial, it's kind of a nice complement. And I think another reason why I don't store this is because I feel like this is a using watch. I mean, you've seen the detailed video I've had of this, and it hasn't had a polish, and there are nicks, and you know, again, you really can't see them. It looks pretty mint if you just say, look at it on my wrist. But if you really look closely, there are imperfections, and in a way, I guess I don't feel like it deserves to be, you know, placed in the box. I almost feel like this is, of my watches, the beater of the bunch, if I could call it a beater. So that's my watch routine. I wear a watch all the time. I wear one at night. I don't wear one when I'm in the shower. I take the watch off and I, you know, put it on the table, and then I shower, and then when I get out, I put it back on. The idea of having, you know, the water under the bracelet, and you know, you have to take it off anyway to dry it, and yeah, I just feel like there's not a real good reason to shower with a watch other than hey, it's a waterproof watch, so maybe I should, you know, take it in the water, which doesn't sound like a good reason to me. I like to push my watches, but more in a genuine way. Now, sometimes I do wash my watches, right? And usually I'll use some sort of foamy soap and whatnot. But so I don't shower with my watches. And when I go to the sports club, I take off my watch and I leave it in the locker there. And when I go to swimming lessons with my daughter, I take my watch off. But the rest of the time, I always have on a watch. And you know, I love having a watch on at night. I love waking up in the middle of the night and knowing what time it is, and not having to, you know, use the alarm clock. Okay, so anyway, that's my watch routine, and maybe the next video I'll make is why the Vostoks have been retired, and I'm pretty much just sticking to the Rolexes. Okay, thank you for watching, and see you next time.